What's up, guys? Ben here, bringing another video today. Apology for the lack of uploads over the last couple of days. It's been busy with some flank stuff, but I wanted to cover some recent news over the last couple of days, a bunch of stuff the last day or so, and then a big dump this afternoon. So let's talk, and we're going to rapid fire and discuss everything. All right, first off, we have the Octane announcement of him retiring. Shout out Sam, what a great career winning champs. He had a couple of runners up. He's won back-to-back titles. He's been on some of the best teams in the game. Going out on top instead of coasting. I massively respect this decision from Sam to sort of move on when his career's at the peak. So respect. Curious to see what he's going to do next. People have asked me, like, is he coming on the flank or whatever? I don't know. I mean, that stuff's kind of up to Tom. We'd love to have him. So, he's been on our show a bunch, but excited to see a post-gaming content creator, Sam, and what he does going forward. Also, I thought it was funny, this tweet from Sam. Quick appreciation tweet to Rab, Ronnie, Jake, and anyone else. But Rostermania pulled that new without saying anything means a lot, that I was able to do things on my own terms. It really happens in Call of Duty. A lot of people kind of knew after the event, and I was definitely surprised it didn't leak, but shout out to everybody that kind of held that back, because a lot of people knew behind the scenes, and no one said anything, which is nice, because it would suck to this had leaked. All right, next up we have London Royal Ravens announcing the departure of their coach, Dominate. I'm not really sure if this is Dom being 100% done with the org, or if they're sort of like doing a clean slate. They might bring him back later on in the fall when they actually start making their team. But Dom's been there pretty much since the start at London, and they've had some high points. I think Vanguard year was probably like one of the best versions of the team they built. They actually played really well at the end of the Modern Warfare 2019 season. Then they got top 4 at champs that year. So they've had some really good results, but a lot of downside. And this year was a tough year. And so I think London's kind of starting over, and I'm very curious where they go. And Dominate's obviously a good ad for anyone going forward. So curious to see where he lands as a coach. All right, let's take a break from some Rostermania stuff. It's still CDL related, but I wanted to cover this very quickly. This interesting Jacob Hale article from today. Activision exploring unifying brands across CDL and Overwatch League. And basically, the gist of the article is that Activision and the teams have discussed at some point about having the same team name represent a team in Overwatch and a team in Call of Duty. So they kind of outlined some of the overlapping teams at the bottom of this. I really only see like maybe 1 or 2 of these actually happening. Like Atlanta FaZe, Atlanta Reign, like maybe keep those separate, for example. But like I can see, LAG going to one name. I can see Boston, Seattle, especially if this rumored sort of Seattle search Vancouver thing kind of happened. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's sort of Activision starting to move away from the city-based model and kind of acknowledging sort of that mistake. But something to watch. I'm very curious to see if 1, maybe 2 teams actually like pull the trigger on this year. That'd be kind of cool. All right, but let's get to the meat of it. Why most of you are here, the kind of like big roster menus that dropped this afternoon. So first thing, Toronto Ultra has been in talks with Envoy to bring in the former LA Thieves star. I've been told an offer is being put together ahead of free agency opening on Monday. So I want to explain what I think this means. I think Envoy and Pred are probably number 1 and number 2 in some version, I don't know how you rank them, of sort of the top SMG players available at the moment. And I think that a lot of people are talking to both players. As I've explained to you, they're sort of waiting on OPTIC and FaZe to decide. And then players like Envoy will decide, is he part of one of those plans or is he going somewhere else? So I'm not surprised that Toronto is having talks with Envoy and they're going to put together an offer. I just think it's a question of, is he actually going to go to Toronto? I would say that it is a good option, especially if they keep Scrap. But if Scrappy were to say leave, which would be very interesting and I think unlikely, but if it does happen, and a team is like Inside and Kleenex and Envoy, and they get a good flex, it's not actually that bad of a squad. It wouldn't be as good as if they had Scrap. But I could see it being interesting to Envoy. But if OPTIC wants to sign Envoy, I just see him going there over Toronto. So one to watch. I also have heard of a number of other teams that are interested in signing Envoy. I think he's taken a lot of meetings. This is the one that's kind of leaked because I think the Toronto camp has been really, really leaky, to be honest. If you've noticed over the last week or so, like a lot of news coming out about Toronto, the camp's got some holes in it. And then we got this one from Ronnie over CDL Scrim&Tell. Drazah is at the top of Atlanta FaZe wish list for a new 4th. I've been telling you on stream that I could definitely see this one happening. Draws make sense from sort of an S&D first mindset that FaZe has. The fact that they may want to move MC to more of a full-time AR role and bring in a fast flex, and Drazah definitely is fast. It makes a lot of sense for all parties involved. Some of y'all might say, oh man, like Draws had all his beef with FaZe back in the day. How could they team together? And listen, all that stuff at the end of the day gets wiped aside when people have the ability to team with each other. They just laugh about it later. That's just part of the business. I could definitely see FaZe is contemplating this. Not sure if he is at the top of their wish list, because I'm very curious if they're really considering like bringing in an Envoy or a Pred and having Simp run a flex, but I could see Drazah definitely being one of the options that they're considering. It would make a lot of sense for them. So yes, that's a quick Rostermania roundup. I'm going to do a more in-depth Rostermania video tomorrow with a little bit of a Q&A, so be on the lookout for a post to get questions and hot takes for that video. But just want to give you guys an update on some things that have happened. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my stream, which will be live by the time this video is out, so make sure to check out that. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more, and as always guys, we'll see you on the next one.